stoppas direkt.
What makes a story unforgettable? And why do some films linger with us forever, while others are forgotten? Today I'm sharing my journey as a documentary filmmaker and the key elements that make a story truly great. A story is a series of events crafted to create emotion and provoke change.
Kom igen Pontus! Kom igen nu då! Bra bara! Bra! Ja!
At its core, a story is about conflict and resolution. A journey from one place to another. My breakthrough came when I read Story by Robert McKee. This book showed me how to tell a cinematic story with the language of film. The principles are universal. A great story, whether fiction or documentary, has a beginning, a middle, and an end, built on turning points and character growth. And I didn't understand it at first. It took me reading the book twice and years of experience to see how these ideas worked both in fiction and documentaries. Conflict is the heart of every story, and without it, there's no reason for the audience to care. Conflict creates tension, it drives the plot forward, and it makes the characters grow.
Han kom klockan 1 på natten och jag var helt somnig, trött, så jag bara ville ta honom.
In Puppy Mafia, I let the investigation itself drive the conflict. The search for answers, that created natural tension. And the unexpected discoveries, they added drama and kept the audience engaged throughout the film, or the series.
Han hade inga kött i kroppen, bara skinn och ben var det han. Och jag var lite rädd, jag tänkte kanske ha skadat. Jag gick igen till veterinären. Magen, diarré han hade, bloddiarré, infektion ögon, infektion öron. Jag har gått konkurs på grund av honom. Det har gått nästan 100 000, den här hunden.
A great story makes us feel something, and it connects us to the characters and keeps us invested in the outcome as well. In The Pearl of Africa, when Cleo and Nelson were forced to flee their home, it was not just a turning point in the story, but it was also a profound emotional journey. And it showed their strength and determination, and it made the audience feel their pain and hope within it.
Don't just stand like this, do something. Do something crazy.
Like what?
Get crazy. Like us, no, I just want to.
I said if I was Jamaican, they're like, yeah, 3 up to the gangsters.
I wish you kept it like that up.
One more time.
That, keep that. Ah, so hot. I love it. That deserves a kiss. My boyfriend is so hot.
Every great story has 3 essential elements. It has the setting, the character, and the plot. And they work together to create, a strong story. Setting is where your story takes place. It provides context and it shapes the narrative tone. And in my films, I try to make the setting a character in itself. For example, in The Pearl of Africa, the beautiful Ugandan landscapes were initially shown as a place where Cleo and Nelson loved to be, but then they had to leave. So the audience felt the weight of their loss clearly. And in Speedway, a TV show that I did for SVT in Sweden, The setting was the adrenaline pumping action arena that the speedway track is, and all the conflicts that was around it, and the dirt and all of that. But it was also the people in this arena that was sort of the environment. Sometimes the setting can be the environment, but it could also be the community, I think. Like the type of people, the type of community that you're showing, and then, you know, the characters and the setting, they become, you know, universal in a sense, or they tie together into each other, which, you know, is, I think, more common if you have like a multiple character plot, for instance.
Kom igen nu, Poppa! Kom igen nu, Kim! Kom igen nu!
Characters are the soul of your story, and they're the ones that we follow, we empathize with them, and we root for them. And a strong story is driven by characters who face challenges, and they make decisions, and then they change because of their decisions. And in documentaries, character development isn't always straightforward. Often we have to build the character arcs by showing who they were before we started filming. And in The Pearl of Africa, Nelson's transformation from a shy, reserved person to a confident advocate was a powerful journey that connected deeply with the audience. And being able to capture that as it happened, and it's not always that you can capture it in that way, like when you're filming, and then you might have to do that by how you construct a character arc. Think about how were they before they are the person they are now, and how can you portray that in the movie so that you have a progression of a character development within the film. Maybe you have to reenact, maybe you have to cut it in a way where you can see that it was a different person in the beginning and the end. Or maybe it's interviews that tells about the way or life before, and then you see the character development towards where they are, you know, after they've gone through this journey in the film. That's how you build it in a documentary. It's not as straightforward as, you know, you have to film the character development, but you have to show it in the narrative structure of your film. And plot, that's the sequence of events in your story. It's what happens and how it happens. So a strong plot, it keeps the audience engaged by constantly moving forward. And it's driven by conflict. For me, structuring the plot involves, you know, following the natural journey of my characters and finding the best way to present that story in the edit. And in Puppy Mafia, the plot revolves around unfolding the investigation, but it was also shaped by real events as they happened. Are you struggling to create a story that stands out? Join my 7-day storytelling breakthrough challenge with the proven techniques I've used to craft stories for Netflix and HBO. Learn storytelling techniques to captivate your audience. Go to learndocumentary.com/7-day challenge and start crafting an amazing story today. Stories help us understand the world, and they connect us, inspire us, and they make us think. From ancient myths to like modern films, storytelling is a part of who we are. To tell a great story, what do you want your audience to feel? And what change do you want to create? I always look for a topic that is unique and globally relevant. In The Pearl of Africa, I focused on a love story because love is pretty universal and something that everybody can relate to. So it makes it easier to grasp, you know, the complexities of the story of LGBTQ people in Uganda and how they have been attacked and suffering. So think about how can you package your idea so that it's more relatable. And once you have your core idea, find the conflict. What challenge does your main character face? And what is their goal? And then what obstacles are in their way to get that goal? That's super important to figure out. And for Puppy Mafia, the conflict was uncovering the illegal trade of puppies. And it wasn't just about exposing criminals. It was about shining a light on the ethics and responsibility and the complexities of how do you even control this? Because the Border Patrol didn't even know how they could solve this.
Hello.
Hallå, vänta, sitter en telefon. Kom igen, kutokel.
French bulldogs, what else? Like which kind of dog? Ah!
Csempészik ki kamionba, csempészik ki táskába, beinakciózzák a kutyát, beteszik a kesztyűtartóba.
Outline your story with a basic structure and identify the key events, the turning points and the resolution. And remember that every story has a beginning, a middle and an end, so you gotta figure those things out. I like to shoot first and adjust my outline as I go. This allows me to stay more flexible and I adapt the story as it unfolds in real life with the character development that I'm seeing. Because I won't know everything when I start out. It's just very naive, I think, to believe that you can just think up a story when it comes to doc and real life stories and then go out and shoot it. I don't think that's how it works. And if you have found it to work that way, then comment below and let me know how you made it. To sum it up though, a great story has a conflict, emotional impact, strong characters and a clear structure. And it connects with the audience and drives change. Start by finding your core idea, identifying the conflict, and sketching your outline to understand what your story is about before you get too caught up into just filming it. Share your story ideas as well in the comments. I'd love to hear what type of stories you're telling and what films you're trying to make. And if you want to learn storytelling, then check out my Hero's Journey cheat sheet on learndocumentary.com/dochero. Now check out this video if you want to learn how to tell a better story.